Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading for a woman who contacted me via Gmail. I don't otherwise know her or anything about her, with the exception of that which she messaged me yesterday, in wanting me to know it for her reading. But it wasn't required of me. She and I welcome these things, but I don't require any information at all. I don't quote unquote need it. So I appreciate it. I welcome it. But I can do without it too. In any case, let's see what we get for her. I'm going to begin with meditation and open to divine guidance and a quick spread, maybe 5 cards. I don't know where I got the 5-card thing, but it's something that I do to check and see what kind of union it is with which I'm dealing, unless it comes out on its own. And we don't need to. Opening to Guardian. So, of course, meditation is pretty self-explanatory. Demonstrate that there is a need for, looking for peace. Okay. So maybe I won't have to do that little spread. Good, because she wanted me to look at life purpose too, and I only have a half hour. Opening to Moon Tree, which is about sacred marriage, sacred union. So I don't have to do that other spread. It's about the marriage between 2 sacred souls, and also the marriage between heaven and earth, at least equally as beautiful. Moon Tree, and opening to Emergence. Emergence is about our rise, from where we've come, not forgetting that part of it, from where you came, but continuing to rise. Moon Tree and Sacred Union. Moon Tree and Sacred Union together. Boom. I definitely don't have to do that other little spread. And I was hoping so. I think that I talked it up because I was hoping that I didn't, because again, I only have a half hour and she wanted me to look at life purpose too. So I was looking at the cards before, like, what am I going to do exactly? Well, I guess I'll start with this to get the most bang for our buck, as we say. And embrace. Embrace is about a person coming into balance. So that may be why there's a strong need for meditation with this couple. Also, I felt the need for energy healing. And when I shuffled my life purpose cards, I ended up, when I pick these up, I will begin with energy healing. So embrace is, it looks like a couple coming into a very, beautiful, tight hug. It's not really, though. It's one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in balance. So this is what, to what we all strive, and with what the meditation can help you. And coming to celebration. So maybe there'll be something about which we can be happy, beginning with the sacred marriage. Because for this card, with this card, it's about not just the celebration, but yes, the celebration of something very sacred, very divine. Because this dove reminds me of the Pentecost, and the Pentecostal dove, and that would be the celebration of the rise of Jesus, the Christ, and those others, saints, who rose around the same time as him. Those of you who know the scriptures, there have already been people to have risen. We don't have to wait for revelations and all that kind of stuff. So this is a celebration of that sort of thing. And it's about being born again too. And I think that we go through many deaths and rebirths, and that's what this journey is about in a lot of ways. So we should definitely celebrate that about ourselves too. And having seen that emergence card, which again is about a rise as well, it's like, yeah, going down. Sometimes we go down, and we're, the darkness, but we come up from that, and we don't forget that. We let it be a reminder of from where we came, and lessons we've learned, and things through which we've been through. Some we may want to repeat, some we don't, and all of that is reason to celebrate. So, okay, so this will be a spread from the perspective of the masculine. Beginning with a card representative of the feminine, about herself, could be from her higher self. The masculine about the feminine, about himself, and the union as a whole. Overall, And the outcome, what the masculine would have the feminine to do to help to like facilitate the union, to contribute, to surrender, sacrifice for the sake of the union, what he himself is willing to, and what the universe would have the two of them to do. Feminine, eternal flame. So like she's, even if it is just her higher self, which she wouldn't have come to me if that was the case. It is her whole being. She is committed to the situation. In that at least keeping the fire burning. So I'm not saying that she's always gung-ho. I'm not saying she doesn't get tired like the rest of us. I'm not saying she's not tired right now. As a matter of fact, I think she did say that she was exhausted. I'm thinking about the clients with whom I've spoken this week. I believe it was her that was exhausted. But like the fire burning, continuing to kindle, as they say. The masculine about her, dreams. This is about communication in dreams. It's also about, like the cliche, the woman of my dreams, the partner of my dreams sort of thing. But definitely communication too. And I'm not sure it's all been getting through. And that may be why she's exhausted. Because she's been missing messages from him. There's a block. And maybe that's what the energy healing is about. The need, because this is my life purpose deck. So these cards traditionally, and like in a book sense, are about what the person can do, not necessarily through what they're going. But when I came to this card, I didn't necessarily, that's not to say that she won't ever be an energy healer and couldn't be, tomorrow. That's not what I mean. But what I felt, was that she was the one in the need of healing at the time. And so now I'm thinking maybe there's, or I'm feeling or hearing, whatever, there's a block. And maybe that's what needs to be clear here. A block that's preventing her from receiving these messages in her sleep from the masculine in 5D. Okay, the masculine about himself. Aww, I love when I pull this. And I was just talking about him, Jesus the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, the universal heart. So this is the divine masculine, or at least the vibration of the divine masculine of all time. So if the masculine is connecting with him and following his lead and trying to, be more like him, striving to be more like him, nearer and dearer to him, he's on the right path. And you can be very proud. It's wonderful. About the union. Inner child. So it's like, I was talking about the death and rebirth. It's like that. It's like it's your new baby. If that makes any sense. If you can, sometimes I wish that people could see what's in my head. Because as I'm like looking at stuff and trying to describe it, yeah, it's like the two of you are ripe and fertile to give birth to something very new and beautiful. This also, for me, has a lot to do with the sign of Aquarius, as this one does with Leo. And I think I'm dealing with that because what she did send me, this client, is her... The two of them, their zodiac signs. So I think she said she was, because our charts were similar, at least as far as the moon and the rising and the, she was a Scorpio sun, a Leo moon, and an Aquarius rising, I believe, because it was like opposite me. One of them was. I'm not a Scorpio sun. I'm a Gemini sun. I do have some Scorpio on my chart, though, Jupiter and Scorpio, but that's not it. But I'm a Leo rising and an Aquarius moon. So like the reverse, opposite her. But this, because of the fire and stuff, it And it could be any fire sign, but it tends to come through as Leo for me, maybe because I'm one. I don't know. And this one is very Aquarius, also maybe because I'm one, but that's not, when I describe why, that's not why. It's because of these stars, but particularly this one on the child's throat, and you know how air signs rule communication. Aquarius for me being very much about electronic communication, text, email. Gemini is the great communicators of the zodiac. But the star, the symbol of the star, is major arcana card 17 in the traditional tarot, and it represents the sign of Aquarius. So when this card shows up, there's a lot of that for me too. But there's also like something to say. Like this union has something to say, a mark to make on the world, you know, at some point. Overall, transience. This is about allowing the universe to heal us, at least for me. When I look at it, I see particular points, like particular chakras. Third eye chakra right here. You know, this very strong beam ray right at her forehead. Here, throat chakra, another very strong one coming through. Heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, you see, up here, the crown. And she's at her most vulnerable. Not only is she nude, as if that's not vulnerable enough, but her eyes are closed, her face is turned, you know, she's just really allowing herself to be completely exposed, and just like, you do what you got to do with me, universe. You do what you got to do with me, God. Fix me. I'm at your mercy. So that's awesome. And what would the masculine have the feminine do? He wants you to be in this kind of place. He wants you to allow for this kind of healing. And maybe it's because you're blocked off here. And he's like, I can't get through. She needs healing. She's not receiving messages. There's something going on with her crown chakra. Maybe there's something going on with her third eye chakra. Maybe it's not receiving the messages that I'm sending telepathically. And so there's healing necessary there. What is he? And it's a lot of the same colors with these two also, because they're like about the same thing. What is he willing to do or surrender? He has got something, someone, someplace, maybe a combination of those that he needs, of which he needs to let go. That he needs to leave in the past. He needs to leave behind. And he's willing to do that, is what this is. I have a feeling it may be an actual person, because as I was shuffling my angel cards, my tarot cards, which I may or may not get to use, I don't even know, you know, with the time constraints, I saw not only a lot of earth, which I think he was a Capricorn, so that's him. I saw tons of earth as I was shuffling. I said, oh, wow. So it was before I looked at the email she sent me. I said, somebody's an earth sign, at least one of them. Maybe they're both earth signs. That's how much I was seeing. I also saw a lot of threes. And I think as far as threes go, yep. I would also begin with one of those, were I to use my angel tarot cards, the world, with Archangel Michael. A job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. It's Archangel Michael's feast day today. Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. Today is September 29th, the day on which I'm doing this recording. And it is Michaelmas, the feast of Michaelmas. Also, hashtag creepy deck, gossip. So I think there's something funky going on with involving another person, at least one other person. What would the universe have the two of you to do? And it's to allow for spiritual growth, like not to fight that. Again, he looks to be on path. You look to as if you could use some, and the meditation may be enough, you know, some sort of energy healing, because you have a block here. And then that would allow for the spiritual growth on both sides. And then you can come into balance, like that embrace card. Outcome. Aw, the outcome is love. How awesome is that? Let me go to another spread. Yeah, let's get that hashtag creepy deck going. Beginning again with gossip. And opening to true gem. Gossip and communication. I stopped to talk about communication. It was that Aquarius, that inner child card that caught my eye in that regard. That the union itself had something to say, and it looks like other people have something to say. People are talking. But also communication coming up. And new love. So this goes toward the birth and rebirth that I mentioned as well. Gossip back, and here goes the triangle. Saw this too as I was shuffling these. So the triangle opposite the gossip. I'll go one more, and past life, which of course it's some sort of past life issue, some sort of karmic situation. Triangle. I don't know, maybe we're meant to see open relationship. That may mean something. And I've come to control. So somebody's being manipulated, and it may, that gossip, and the third party may be involved in that. And the overall energy is fair male. Now, while this card often represents for me or a potential quote unquote karmic soulmate, and I'm putting it in quotes because that's the way we use karmic in this life, like the quote unquote twin flame life, which that's not a real thing either. So I'm putting that in air quotes too. The way we use the word karmic is not really as it was intended. So that's why it's in air quotes. But this card tends to come through as the karmic soulmate, or a karmic energy for me. But also separate and apart from that, kind of the sign of Capricorn. So it can be here for that reason as well, representing the masculine. Okay, so this spread will be from the perspective of the universe. Messages from the universe. This represents the divine couple. The recent past. The near future. The masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do. What the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe, and the outcome here. Divine couple, destiny. So it's destined to come together, even if it appears there might be some fuckery right now, and other people, in your business, and maybe other situations going on, possibly even romantic. But ultimately, the union is destined. It is karmic, not in a negative sense. It is of the universe. It is of your karma, that of the divine masculine, and so it will be. It is, the universe's will, God's will. That's what destiny means. Recent past. Union. Very interesting. Coming together of some. I saw something else with a ring. I have to think for a second. Was I seeing that in the cards, or was I just seeing that myself? It was the cards, and it was this deck as I was shuffling the friends card. There's a ring, like a wedding band, on the pointer finger of one of the friends that has their hand in the pool. So that may come up again with this. I'm going to look at some more cards before I say anything else further about what I'm feeling or thinking right now with this. The near future. Wallflower. So I know you watch me sometimes. Wallflower for me tends to represent not only the sign of Scorpio, your sun sign, but also, again, Capricorn, and sometimes Gemini too. And we saw true Gem, so maybe the third person, and maybe they're a Gemini. The wallflower person, and the other day, this song from Marvin Gaye came on, and Give It Up, got to give it up. And it talks about like this, and I was reminded, I said, oh, this song is about the wallflower. I used to go out to parties. You see the people here, the black shadowy figures, they're dancing, they're having a good time. And I used to go out to parties and like ride the wall because I was too nervous to get down. That's how the song goes. And that's what I feel about Capricorn, Scorpio, and again, sometimes Gemini too. Not that they're not people that like to go out to party, but they're also like reserved and pulled back and sort of conservative and like to be by themselves as well. So this is near future, somebody in this sort of energy. The masculine's higher self. Long distance. So it would appear, I'm getting again from the dreams, like that not only is there distance between you, but that from the masculine's perspective, it's more so also like he can't get to you because he's sending these messages and you're not receiving them. So it's like the distance is like increased. Blocks to the union. A past love. Again, this third energy, at least on one side, this exists. What can the feminine do? You are going to have to allow for things to play out here. Again, there's like karmic energy at play, and you're going to have to allow for it to play out. This card says many things to me, varying things to me at different times. And right now it's being kind of literal, in that these divine unions, twin flame relationships are open relationships. We can call ourselves committed. We can say that, this is actually my boyfriend, my girlfriend. But again, it is a karmic situation. Karmic energy is at play. The universe is at play. God is in charge. And so if we're moved into separation, if we're guided to do whatever it is we're guided to do, go out with somebody else, date someone else, whatever. There's really nothing the other can do. And sometimes there's like not much that we can do. It's sort of like these things are out of our control and we don't even realize, like, why did I do that? Well, it's like hindsight is when you get to figure out, oh, now I understand why this went on in my life, or why that went on in my life, why I all of a sudden went that way. Maybe it wasn't really your idea. You realize that. And so basically, you're going to have to accept, at least for a period, while there is something playing out here, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom more so of what it is. You're going to have to allow things to play out and understand that, in great part, it's an open relationship. the masculine. Fun times. So he's out. He's enjoying life. He's living life. He might be at the club sitting there doing this though. This might be how a Capricorn, loves life. Go to the club, and stand against the wall, or sit down against the wall. That's fun times. Further advice from the universe. This is also coming out with two things. Like it's mirroring this open relationship, and that's one of the ways it's coming through. Like, focus on other things, focus on work, focus on, keep living your life. At the same time, we do have to work on ourselves and in our unions, like always, even when it's not like rigorous work. As we better ourselves, as we work on ourselves, we're in effect working on the union also. So dual meaning there. And the outcome of this spread, control. So I feel more so that it's the masculine, and that's what I was trying to refrain from saying. Although when I do let these things just fly out, I mean, they're not wrong. The masculine's got some other situation going on right now. And I'm not saying that they got married. I'm not saying that. And that's the way this looks. But there's some sort of situation. But he's being manipulated by like an ex or something. In which case it would seem that he's the one that might need some energy healing, not you. But guess at the same time, because now I'm thinking about that first spread that was from his perspective, he knew that. He chose that what he was willing to do was to let go of the old, to vacate the space for something new. He had the heaven and earth card is what he had chose for himself. So he's aware of this. He knows it's a toxic situation, and he is willing to exit it. And I guess in the meantime, that's why you're going to have to sort of bow out and just again, keep living and loving life. And the union is there. It is destined. It's not going anywhere. But he's got to work something out. And I want to be able to give you another spread. I'll probably go over the time a little bit. That's okay for me. But I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be ridiculous. So I'm not rushing this, but I'm going to get to another one. So I want you to be able to see these two. So this is the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels. And I'm beginning with pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. And opening to healing family issues. Your life benefits, your love life in particular here, but benefits that you forgive your parents. I always say it's not only your parents, it's anybody that impacts your life so much that you can't go on, right? You're feeling stuck because of some other person. You got to heal that, whether it's your parents, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, your child, a friend, whatever. And I also always say there's two ways to do that. One is to repair the relationship, and one is to walk away from them, whoever they are. Pay attention to the red flags and getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Pay attention to the red flags. Also, boom, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So where you and or the masculine, certainly the masculine being manipulated like a puppet, it's time to take back your own control, or his own control. And like the writing is on the wall, as they say, pay attention to the red flags. Also, there's religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So there's beliefs and ideologies that are a block too. Maybe there's a particular way, one is to release a past love. That past love is more in alignment with their, your or the divine masculine's, social standing, and this other one doesn't look right. And that's why people are talking. That's why they want to gossip, because, it's not right that the two of you don't belong together. These two, now this is like textbook relationship. They go to the same church and they grew up the same way and all that kind of stuff. That's what religious factors means. Sometimes if you're married, it's not okay to get divorced. What are the neighbors going to think? All that kind of stuff. I'm going to cut. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So you are going to have to go within to pull out this youthful spirit, because neither Scorpios nor Leos nor Aquarians are the youthful element, youthful sign of their element, of their respective elements. Scorpios are a very quote unquote mature sign. Pisces would be the immature sign of the water element. Leo is a mature sign. Sagittarius would be the youthful. And Aquarius is a mature sign as well. Gemini would be the youthful. So you're going to have to go within, because Capricorns are like old men too. And yeah, try to live that fun life and be lighthearted and, not caught up in your feelings, or like you're carrying a heavy bag or anything like that. You got to like drop all that in order to try to come back together. Overall energy here is past life relationship. You have known each other before. And I think that also there's this other person or persons also coming into play in this regard. Masculine, retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. He's surrounded by unrequited love. That's that other person that's, of whom he has to let go. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. But he needs to also let go of control issues. So he may not only be being manipulated, he may also be a manipulator. And perhaps of himself as well. Like he's trying to, just control everything and not allow for flow. And that blocks one's blessings. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. So the same word I used in your regard, saying you're going to have to like let things play out, let things unfold. He needs to be doing the same. This is why the world showed up too. He's got this relationship that's coming to an end, and he overstayed his welcome. She did too. They overstayed their welcome. This should have been over a long time ago. And it's not a secret, but they didn't. So now the universe has to step in. The world is also a very quote unquote karmic energy for me. A lot of people look at the world and they read it as like the world is your oyster, the world is in your hands and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I see that too. But for the most part, especially from this particular deck, this world card for me is about the universe needing to step in and pull you out of a situation, or, but gradually. So similar to the tower, and it's the universe stepping in to say, I got this, because you're not doing it. But the tower is abrupt and sort of, earth shattering one way or the other, good or bad. The world requires some patience sometimes, even from us, because we're eased out of a situation. This is this three-party thing. Okay, so now I know why I was made to stop and talk about the world in the beginning as well. Because again, these things, they come out of my mouth, and sometimes I don't even know why I'm saying them, but I just go with it. So yeah, crowning you is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So this would be going with the flow. You know, going with the flow doesn't only mean letting, you know, whatever that scenario we were looking at a moment ago, that seemed to be a toxic relationship on the part of the masculine, not only letting that play out, but letting the good and the positive things play out too. You allow yourself to be happy, you know, decide to be happy, and then allow yourself to be that, and allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. You are surrounded by separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And I think, yes, this does, because a lot of times when I'll pull this card, I'll say, oh, no, don't worry about it. I'm not feeling it having to do with your actual union, but I am. And it's to allow for, you know, what it's mirroring here, the masculine to rid himself of this unrequited love. In your subconscious here, children. Your love life is being affected by children. These could be children of the masculine. They could be yours. Here in this position, especially, they could be just children you think about that you want to have in the future, or family, things like that. Children may be involved in this situation, and that's why a relationship or another hasn't ended, because you could have your own, I'm feeling, your own third party situation. And cords to cut and energy to heal behind this children. Crowning the union is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And at the root, playfulness. Again, to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I just heard that this is also like for you guys to be like children. It's, oh goodness. I'm thinking Olivia Newton-John, and that's not what I'm seeing, and that's not what I'm wanting to say. Elton John. Goodness. Elton John. The song, I guess that's why they call it the blues. It was coming into my head, and I could see Elton John at the piano, and I just kept thinking, Olivia Newton-John. I'm like, that's not what his name is. Laughing like children, living like lovers, rolling like thunder under the covers. That it's coming, the children has to do with the playfulness too. And how you're going to maintain your joy and your happiness and not allow anybody to take it, and understanding that your man will, you know, is yours first and foremost, and that he'll be back. He just has to like take care of something. And in the meantime, yeah, I guess that's why they call it the blues, because time on his hands could be time spent with you, laughing like children and living like lovers and rolling like thunder under the covers. Okay, and at the heart of the matter, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So basically your whole spread here is about the work that has to be done. But we got to see sort of the end of the story, the happy ending at the beginning, when we saw what kind of union with which we were working. So not only is, you know, all's well that ends well, all's well that like begins well too. So we get to see the ending. So I'm going to give you from here too, the life purpose deck. So I would say advice from these angels, other than the fact that you need some energy work, energy healing. And again, it can be meditation, you know, that's up to you to decide what type of energy work you are going to perform or seek from another, or whatever. The masculine, advice to him, he has options, and he should be exercising them and considering them in trying to find balance in his life and justice for himself. Like doing the right thing for him, the right thing in general, again, to get out of this situation. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you, but not just the career possibilities. He needs to consider like what could be, period. and then allow for the flow. Go with the flow and allow the universe, which is going to do what it's going to do anyway, but he's like fighting against it, like fighting against the tide. Allow it to pull him out of that situation with that world energy as it wishes, as is the universe's will, God's will. For you, however, it's time to decide. Make a decision based on your heart's desires. So again, you also not trying to control things, but allowing your heart and soul to sing with joy in all aspects of your life, and not allowing anything or anyone to steal your happiness, to steal your joy. And, follow the career you want, follow the man you want, follow the life you want. Go after those things and manifest them for yourself. But you have to decide. I use these words too. I said, you have to decide to be happy and then be that. So the universe agrees. The angels agree here. From the hashtag creepy deck, Ice King. This person tends to be connected to Aries for me often, because I see this guy as like Mars, but also, of course, air energy. And I think that the masculine had some Libra. So this could be him. This could be his own energy. He could be the Ice King, taking back control. All right, there's a lion here. Lions represent the sign of Leo, but also strength. The strength card in the tarot represents the sign of Leo. And strength there is about taking back control of your life, or at least the way I read it. So I think that's what the message is to the masculine from this deck. For you, we knew this was going on. And if you didn't, you know now, and be mindful of it. Pay attention to the red flags. Watch your back. People are talking. The streets is watching, and all that kind of stuff. There's also a song like that. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? Bonnie Raitt, I think. Oh, for the masculine, soulmate. So reconfirmation of your union here, and why he needs to, or one of the reasons, as you know, after, of course, his own personal sanity and happiness in general, why he needs to get out of, the negativity. And for you, relationship. Oh, isn't that cute? How you each got one from that deck relating to the connection. Very nice. From the romance angels to the masculine. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, that's what he has to work on. You experience more love in your present moments. So that's to make, again, it's letting go of something old to vacate the space for something new and more beautiful. Romance angels to you, soulmate. Aw, yes, this is your soulmate. So, you can hold on to that while you perhaps are spending some time, without him, alone. And there was another song just running through my head there too. Something about all the nights alone. I don't know what that is. I lost it. For the masculine, 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. Again, he needs to stop trying to control the situation, force it to go the way he wants it to go. The universe has taken control. Maybe limited, at least with regard to this situation, his free will, because he's had free reign of that and it hasn't worked out. And now again, that karmic energy is stepping in to heal it. He also needs to count his blessings and not, be so consumed with or concerned by what he's letting go. It's okay to grieve these things, a bit, and things that we're letting go. Anytime we have to, we're getting something new, there's change coming into our life, there's something that's ending, right? With every ending, there's a beginning, and vice versa. And it's okay to I'm going to miss that thing, or remember those old times. There was a time when this was good. It didn't always look like that. It wasn't always a mess. That's okay to do, but we can't, become consumed with this and forget that we have this. Okay, but that shows a lack of faith, a lack of appreciation. It blocks our blessings. A lack of gratitude to the universe. And for you, the Knight of Earth. So here's your Capricorn. And the Knight of Earth he can be a slower energy. I'm sorry. So again, you're being asked to have some patience. The light of earth, however, is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind, and always reaches his goal. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. So he is on his way. Maybe just not as fast as you otherwise would have liked, but he'll get there. I hope that you enjoy your reading, that you find it helpful. Namaste, angel.